if you head over to YouTube in the search bar and you type in a particular car that you're looking for, you're always going to come up with the most powerful, the fastest version, the 0 to 100s, all the sort of cool things that you want to see when it's late at night. But if you're looking for consumer advice, there are very, very few channels on the page that you'll see that can actually give you some stuff about why you shouldn't buy the car. So what I thought is, I get all these performance cars, why not try something sensible? So in this segment, I found myself the Audi Q3. It has all the pretty features on it and it makes it look good for camera, but I'm going to give you a better idea and a better understanding to what this car should be like should you want to buy it. So without further ado, I'm going to cut off camera and then you can see all the stats that's available to you if you were to search it or watch this. The second generation Audi Q3 is a breath of fresh air. It has gone through an entire revamp from the ground up. Not only is it a pretty looking car, but it has gone through extensive changes from technology all the way to safety. This car sits in something called a compact premium crossover class, which means that it's not its smallest version, the Audi Q2, and it's not its medium-sized big brother, the Audi Q5. It slots somewhere in between it where you have a happy medium of something that isn't too big but isn't too small at the same time, but can also suit a family's needs. Being jam-packed with a plethora of technology and safety is an absolute must these days for a car like this. But one thing's for sure is that sometimes looks are definitely compromised. But you're never going to have that problem with this Q3 because if you look at it, it is an absolutely beautiful car. So, it looks good and it's jam-packed with technology, but when you're behind the driver's seat, what's it like to drive? The ride on this car is absolutely comfortable, and I know that this has the S-Line kit, which means that it has sportier suspension and bigger rims, but to use on a daily basis, it's absolutely perfect. You're not going to feel all these bumps, and I know people will say that when you have firmer suspension it's going to hurt your back, but in a car like this it really does have a lot of compromise. You can get all the looks you want, you can get all the performance, you can get all the ticks done in your configuration, but you will have a car that's manageable and usable every day without it looking too bland or ugly. With competition so stiff in its segment from the likes of the Volvo XC40 to BMW's X1, this Audi Q3 faces an incredibly tough time in its segment. But where this car really shines out is in its interior, because that is in a class all of its own. And what an interior it is. Looking back where Audi has come from, it's easy to see why so many people all over the world have fallen in love with their latest modern day designs. And most of the technology isn't complicated at all. Built and designed with the driver and user in mind, you don't even have to be technologically inclined to use it. Pioneering technology is what Audi do best, and one of those features is the virtual cockpit. Designed so that all the important driver information, including maps, is right in front of you, all so that you don't turn your eyes away from the road ahead. There is, however, one disappointment on the inside, and it's the gear lever. Spending as much money as you would do on a car like this, you would expect a better looking version, but instead you're left with something that looks like a cheap afterthought. A nicer touch would have been the typical brushed aluminium. If you're worried about headspace, don't be, because the Q3 can seat 5 adults comfortably in the back without any compromise on headspace and legroom. Now that I'm sitting at a traffic light, I actually have a good chance to look at what's around me, and it's quite an interesting place to be. But what you see here is quite expensive, because if you go through the options list, all of these things like flat bottom steering wheel, the multi-touch interface, the Bang & Olufsen audio system, it all comes at a premium. But then again, if you wanted premium, this is the segment that you're going to go into. If you wanted something cheaper, you wouldn't be going for this brand. If you can look past the price and some of the options, the Audi offers a luxurious mode of transport for couples or small to medium families, the ability to travel in style. And with more engines on the way, you can opt for a faster version. But if speed isn't your thing, this is perfectly fine. If I use my mobile device and go into the YouTube app and go to a channel settings on YouTube, I'll be able to see that 99% of you guys aren't subscribed. Breaks my heart. And I hear this time and time again from bigger YouTubers. We are a small channel. So if you want to support us, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. And if you want to see more of me, click on these videos right over here. If not, you can just exit the video and I can carry on doing this so that only my mom and dad watches.